Crusher!
He's trying to guide believers to what he truly thinks is right. He's reading from a manuscript of scientific lore. Throw away the rest like you don't need it anymore. Tree crusher, the lord of non-belief. If you can't prove it, no one can get ready for the brief. A dedicated skeptic, we all know what that means. He's lurking in the shadows and crushing all your dreams. Going to land. Don't believe in cryptids that leave footprints in the sand. Don't believe in spirits appearing from the dead. The only demons out there are living in your head. Dream crusher, the lord of non-belief. If you can't prove it, no one can get ready for the grave. A dedicated skeptic, we all know what that means. He's lurking in the shadows and crushing all your dreams. Dream crusher, the lord of non-belief. If you can't prove it, no one can get ready for the grave. A dedicated skeptic, we all know what that means.
Hello, everybody! Oh, it's Friday night. Woo! Hi, Donna.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
That's good.
I'm
Yeah,
good.
you gotta get your mic
There
over
we
there.
go.
There you go. You like feel like you're out of sync and
Yeah,
everything.
right.
You're
I
so
can
far
actually
away.
see you.
All right. I can see you too. You're right there. Squinch your head. Squinch your head. Squinch your head.
Whatever.
Anyway.
Happy Pie Day.
Happy Pie Day. Yes. Awesome. Oh my goodness. I gotta tell you, I'm tired.
I didn't
I'm
have
tired.
any pie.
I'm tired tonight because of staying up late last night.
Well, you should have went to bed like I did and then wake up.
No, I wanted to see the whole lunar eclipse, which I got some pictures of, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But hello, everyone. Let's say hello. Let's say hello to a lot of people. There's so many people. I'm going to try and get through this really quick before Donna gets me like the let's go sign.
I don't know. You got 75 people. So
Oh my
let's
God.
Go. Ready?
It's the Costanza. Rose Red, CPR, Blast Rights, Occult Life, Panda, Kaizen, Double K. We got lots of new people here. Cree's in the house. Jaeger 71. Marie Jane Gin Juice. Malachi's in the house. What's up, buddy? Florio. Am I saying that right? I think I've said that a couple times where I've asked you if I'm saying that right. Kristen's in the house. ABZ. Abs is in the house. Jade Kitten. Hello, Jade Kitten. Good to see you. Glenda is in the house. Chris 52. Chris Williams. Wandering Onesie. Giselle L. Going down really quick. Let's see. Hey, can I love your ghost hunting video? Awesome. Thanks, Wen Lee. Got that one in. That's that.
There you go.
I'm getting ahead.
Good
Cheating.
job.
Mandalorian Mama is in the house. Damn it, Bob is in the house. What's up? Teach it forward. We got. Did I get that all? Did I get everyone? Oh, there's Michael Burkeen.
No,
I see him.
Everybody.
Metal Neck. Nice. So if I'm in here, is Kenny going to think I like him? Yes, absolutely. I'm going to tell everyone that you love me. That's standard rule. I'm going to make a t-shirt and wear it next show. Monica is in the house. Michael Smorto, Double K.
Honeybee,
Honeybee, Dawn of the Dead,
Pinky,
Pinky,
Laura Jordan,
Cat, capital K-A-T.
Jennifer Spinks.
Oh, Laura Jordan. I think I got everybody.
Purple?
I think I got a lot of Purple. What?
88 people.
There's Purple in here. Didn't I say like 110 names already?
No.
Oliver, obscure reference man. Oh my gosh, Susan, Victoria. There's so many people. They're obviously here to see Seg and not me.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Because that motherfucker is famous. I hate him so much. No. All right. Let me jump ahead because I don't want to waste too much time. Not that I'm wasting time saying hi, everyone, because I appreciate you guys being here. But got to get to the rules. Rule number 1 is that you are welcome to ask questions. That this show is about. It's an educational show. It's a fun show. When we have a guest, we're going to have your questions, the second hour. I get to ask all the questions in the first hour because it's my show. Rule number 2 is that I don't know everything. And that's just plain to see. And the guest doesn't always know everything. So keep that in mind. Rule number 3 is that we follow the Patrick Swayze rule. And that's be nice. You can be in the chat room. You can make comments. You can have discussions and debate people. You can agree or disagree. That's fine. If you devolve into name calling, Donna will boot your ass out of here forever. The big black hole of the paranormal. It's like a dog butt. That's what I hear. Rule number 4 is that if you do have a question, please do us a favor. Put a capital Q in front of it. And that way Donna picks it out amongst. I don't get to use that a lot.
94 people so far in the chat
that are watching, having conversations and stuff. And then we will ask them throughout the second hour. And then rule number 5 is my favorite one. That's drink up. Oh.
Drink up. Yeah. I have
So,
water tonight. I'm not drinking.
You got water? It's vodka. That's what it is.
It's not.
All right. Now I'm going to switch to my guest theme, and I'm going to bring on my guest. There he is. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Kenny.
How you doing? Are you sleeping? You can never tell.
I'm right here.
I know. I see you. I don't know, because you were like this, and it was like, is he asleep? I don't know. You can never tell. It's creepy sometimes when watching.
I'm good, Kenny. It's like early in the morning for me. Actually, I was going to say you do like a little halftime bit in this, right? You have like a little. What I'm going to do to keep up with your drinking rule. By that time, it will be about 11 a.m. Fuck it, I'm going to have a drink.
All right, good. So we got to get through 1 hour, and then you can start drinking.
I'm going to have a beer.
Okay, good. All right, so this is the first.
What's the deal with swearing on your? I feel like you get like quite proper people usually in your live streams. Where do you stand on me dropping an F-bomb?
I mean, I'm for it. I mean, I'm all for it. So it's you answer questions how you want to answer them. I don't restrict anyone unless you become a total dick. Then I'll take you off the show. But no, otherwise you're good. Oh my gosh,
No guarantees.
Thank you for Ken. And you asked Seg when he plans to put out Mackie and Amanda video. Just asking for a fan. For $5, I will take that question right now. Yes. That's funny. So for everyone, that's a.
Can I actually answer that question?
Yes, please.
In all seriousness, Mike, after I answer this, I want a truce that you don't bring up Mackie and Amanda again for at least 6 months. Tomorrow, I'm bringing out my Mackie and Amanda video tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
It's not that great.
What is the obsession with Mackie and Amanda?
I don't know. I don't know. Mike Jason loves Mackie and Amanda. I don't get it.
I like that he's got a little chupacabra as an icon.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. I like that. That's cool. All right. So yeah, I think you've been on here when we've had like a bunch of people. We've had like some of the YouTube debunkers on, I think. But you've never actually been just a guest, like an official guest. So
no, I just never thought I was important enough.
Well, I mean, you can still think that.
I don't even blame you for it.
No, I mean, we've known each other for a little bit now, and we've gotten to meet in person, which is nice. Except when I saw you without a mask, that was scary as hell. It's freaked
How do
me
you think
out.
I feel?
But I guess, well, the first question I ask everyone that is a official new guest to this show is, what's your origin story? So basically, how did you get to start YouTube channel and YouTube videos, and what's your background? What can you tell us? Where did Seg come from?
Okay, well, there's a lot of people don't really know this, but when one day I was on a school trip and we were going to, I think it was like some labs and some laboratory, and I got a bite, and I looked down it, and there was like this spider that kind of bit me around here, I think, and it kind of hurt for a while. I felt pretty ill. I didn't really know what to do with myself. And the next day I woke up and I had I turned into a spider.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty good. Complete with a mask.
Just for everyone to know, Kenny's already sat through that joke earlier. I did that exact same joke with him before we went on.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I mean, that's okay.
So obviously we mean for the Side Eye Guy channel, how I signed up with the Side Eye Guy channel.
Yeah.
So this would have been around Halloween 2022. And I was up late one night. My kids had gone to bed, all the rest of it. I was up by myself watching. It was a long day. I didn't have the energy to watch a full horror movie, but I just wanted to watch like YouTube clips of my favorite horror movie scenes. So I was skipping between whether it be Saw or Halloween or, Friday the 13th. And one of the recommended videos was a Sam and Colby video. And I'd never heard of Sam and Colby before then. Okay. And the thumbnail looked great. It was these two pale-faced boys with bloodshot eyes, and they looked really scared. And it was this awesome-looking, creepy house. But unfortunately, I don't remember the exact video. But and it was like titled Demon House. And I'm like, Demon House. All right, let's check this out. Clicked on the video. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I just thought it was so funny. It took me completely out of trying to get scared for the night, and I just thought it was so funny. I thought it was so preposterous. I thought it was so ridiculous. And then I read the comments, and I was like, not only do people believe this, but they wholeheartedly with everything believe this stuff from the comments anyway. And I went down a rabbit hole with the whole thing, and I started watching like quite a few Sam and Colby videos. I started watching and quite enjoying exploring with Josh. I did the same with Twin Paranormal, which I'd never liked from the beginning. And I was like, eventually there was one video, I think like a month or so later, and it was when Sam Colby exploring with Josh and what's that other little fuckwit called?
Dawson's in the chat.
Dawson. Seth Borden. They all went to Harriman Hospital in Tennessee, and there was a thing that happened there. I won't go into it, but it was so unbelievably, ridiculously obvious what happened. I don't think they necessarily faked anything. Like something like a tripod that wasn't on the ground. It was on a sofa, an uneven surface, fell over exactly within the rules of physics, how you would imagine a tripod to fall over. And the four of them were screaming. They were going crazy. They're like, this is some of the best evidence. Other people were reacting to this, saying this is like some of the best evidence of the paranormal. And I honestly, after watching that, it was like a light bulb moment. The whole idea of the Side Eye Guy just popped in my head for that one moment of that video.
Wow.
And it wasn't just how I would want to react to that moment. I just had the idea of the whole channel in my head.
Wow. That's pretty good to have the entire
So I hadn't flushed out. Yeah, I hadn't flushed out like the actual icon of the Side Eye Guy. I hadn't come up with the name of the Side Eye Guy, but just like what the Side Eye Guy, what I wanted my channel to be. I had it. It just kind of popped in my head in that moment.
Nice.
So first, we used to watch Sam and Colby, but before they did the whole ghost hunting thing. So when they were doing the urban exploring and abandoned places, like they did that all the time, and we were watching that because it was fun to watch. and
Yeah, the places they went and stuff.
until they got arrested.
Yeah.
And and then that's the moment when it all changed, because they're like, oh, we can't do this anymore, because they got a record. And then they went to the ghost hunting thing, because I guess that's just, you know, an easy transition.
It seems to be quite a natural progression to a lot of urbex explorers, that they just kind of just transform, like they just naturally went there, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah. And I think you'll see that a lot when people just go from urban exploring into a little bit safer ghost hunting genre, because it's not, now you're not trespassing as much. And I don't know how, like, I think trespassing works differently over in like Europe or Australia. Like here, it's a crime. You can't.
Yeah.
Just do it.
So I'll be honest with you, I don't really know what the deal is specifically in Australia, but I know in the UK, and I know this now because, Christ, it became a whole thing last week. But it's a civil matter in the UK, and if somewhere is, I always think there's like a very big difference between what is like illegal and where your moral compass stands on this. There's a lot that's not just with that's a lot of laws. I think we can all kind of agree that just because something is legal doesn't necessarily mean we're all going to agree that it's morally right.
Right.
So I think if you're going to be someone as big as Sam and Cole, how big they became, it's a smart move to stay away from anything controversial like that.
Exactly.
Because it would just damage their brand in the long run.
Yeah, yeah. And they I mean, after getting arrested, I think twice, maybe. At least one of them, I think, was arrested twice. I'm not sure.
I know of one. I can't think of the second. But like, that's not even the most controversial time in their career. Like, you know about the rooftop thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That was crazy.
And it's well, I mean, after that, yeah, they go on to the ghost hunting thing, and we saw it. I kind of stopped watching because, again, we watched the urban exploring, but then when they transitioned into ghost hunting, it was this is stupid.
It was dumb.
This is dumb.
Time.
Yeah. I did not like it at all. And it was just obvious. And I had reached out to them several times saying, hey, you know, if you really think these places are haunted, if you go to anywhere near where I was in Philadelphia, like, contact me. This is what I do professionally. I'll come out and help you out, try to figure it out for you. Not realizing that they probably didn't care. They were in it just for the entertainment. Yeah. So where did the name come from, the side-eye guy, and where did the idea of wearing a mask, or like you had a box or something when you first did the lives?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Kenny.
You're welcome. You were living in a cardboard box.
So the name of the side-eye guy wasn't anything particularly exciting there. All I knew is that as I was when I wanted to come up with a name for the channel, I just knew that I didn't want to put the word ghost or paranormal or anything like that in my title, because I liked the option of, if ever I want to do something that's non-paranormal related, that I don't have that in the title of my channel. Okay.
So let's
hey, Jason.
Question. I'm sorry. Hands off. Mandalorian Mama, thank you for $2. That's awesome. And she wants you to explain the rooftop thing.
Oh, so back in, I'll try and get through this as quick as I can. So back in the day, Sam and Colby aligned themselves with a very popular but controversial YouTuber called Sam Pepper, I think. I don't know why. It's either Sam Bell or Sam Pepper. I can't remember which one. Someone will have to correct me or fact check me that in the comments. But he's now been kicked off YouTube, as far as I'm aware, and he was very controversial with his pranks. And Sam and Colby were dickheads with a lot of their pranks. Like, even before the rooftop thing, they did pranks where I've put this in one of my videos, where they'll just go behind overweight people in like a shopping or in a supermarket and just kind of have a trombone going like, and then like, I don't know, it could have been staged. I don't know. But you know, they thought that was funny. And the rooftop thing was that Colby and Sam. So someone just said here, it's the Costanza said Sam Pepper. Okay. Oh no. Oh, Sam Pepper is a UK. What? Okay. Maybe it's Sam Bell. I don't know. But whoever this other YouTuber was, they collaborated and they kidnapped Sam. This is what's on the video anyway. Dragged him into the back of a van. Somehow dragged him all the way up to the rooftop without the police being alerted that someone has been dragged up to a rooftop kicking and screaming. Obviously, it was bullshit, but this was the interesting thing about it. So they tied Sam up to a chair. Colby was in on it, tied Colby up to a chair, and they played a prank on Sam that they shot Colby in front of him. And Sam, well, this is the thing. This was the big controversy at the time, is if Sam was in on it. And the biggest tell on the whole thing is that whether he was in on it or not, you can see Sam is a really good actor, and Sam sold the performance really well. He like broke down crying. His face went red. Tears were flooding down his face. Like, it was really convincing. Now they've later gone on a podcast and said, "Oh, Sam was in on it," and the question there was like, is Sam in on it because it's better for the Sam and Colby brand? Is that just better for them to sort of say, hey, he's not this, Colby, is not this complete arsehole that would do that to his friend? But the point I've always had about the whole thing is that how the hell did they get Sam from the back of the truck? The next shot we see is on the rooftop, and we don't see how they got a guy either tied up, gaffer taped up his mouth, like gagged him, and then somehow dragged him from a van all the way up to the rooftop of a house. I'm not saying it's not impossible. That I guess that is possible to do, but it just seems a lot of work.
Yeah, it's staged.
So I personally think the whole thing was staged, but that was the kind of content they liked to do back then, and it blew up for them. It was massive. It was a massive video, and it really put them on the map because everyone was talking about it, and they got away with it as well. Like the other guy whose channel it was on, Sam Pepper, Sam Bell, whatever the fuck, his channel was removed from YouTube for that. So, and Sam and Colby have been thriving. So, I don't know. Make of that what you will.
Thank you, Michael Bowker. I hope I'm saying that right. For the New Zealand
Boker.
$10. What is it? Boker? Boker?
Drink.
Bowker? Ah, damn it! I knew we shouldn't have told him that. That's what
Good job, Michael.
So the mask, where'd the idea of the mask come from? And especially the box.
Yeah, as you so kindly pointed out, I wanted to do live streams, and I thought to myself, it's a bit boring to do a live stream like this. I just thought that was a bit boring to just look at a screen with an image on it. And that's not me having to go at other people that want to do their live streams like that. You do you, but for me personally, I thought it was just I want someone to look at if they were going to click onto a live stream, even if it's behind a shoebox. And in my very crude way, I just I cut up a shoebox, stuck the side-eye guy photo on there or artwork on there, and wore a shoebox.
Yeah,
true story. And then I was like, it wasn't very comfortable to wear because it was quite a thick, heavy shoebox, and my nose, if that was my nose, it was like pressed up against the side of it. It was really uncomfortable to wear, and I only could really wear it for like maybe 20 minutes at a time. It just was too uncomfortable to wear. So then I was looking around for like a professional standard mask, like a really good mask to wear. That I thought stood out and gave that whole side-eye guy energy to it, if you will. And then a lovely, awesome woman by the name of Elaine Baker, whose YouTube channel is called Elaine Baker's Creepy Caboodle. Please go check out Elaine Baker Creepy Caboodle. There you go. Thank you very much for last rights. She's extremely talented. And, you know, wait a minute, she's done a whole bunch of masks for me now. Like, we have Twin Eye Guy and...
Oh my God, I haven't seen that one yet.
Have you not seen Twin Eye Guy? I'll put Twin Eye Guy on in a bit. Second half, I'll put on Twin Eye Guy.
All right.
So, yeah.
Oh my God. That is so fucking freaky.
Grim Reaper.
Yeah, I like that one.
Uh,
Thank you, Mike O, for the $4.99. I appreciate
that's
that.
my Christmas mask,
I like that.
That's nice. I like that.
which is a good one. That's the only one. It's got a straw in the mouth, so I can drink.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Somebody had a question out there.
Oh, wait a minute. This is probably my favorite. My Halloween mask.
I like it. It's nice and creepy.
She's done a great job with it. So I'm very, very lucky. I'm so lucky to have Elaine Baker in my corner. Amazing talent.
Does she have a shop or
Sorry?
something? They were asking if she has an Etsy shop.
I think she does actually have an Etsy shop. I'm not sure if that's on her channel or not. You'd have to go. But she does a lot of that sort of stuff. Like on her channel, she does a lot of like arts and crafts sort of things. She likes making dioramas of known haunted places. She's just very much into all things creepy. Like she's a genuinely talented, really talented person.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I by pure luck, I got very lucky. And also, Elaine Baker helped me greatly with that big Mindseed debunk. She tipped me off on that in a very big way. That's how we got talking. Is that I found her saying something in the comment section, and I asked her to reach out to me, and then we got talking that way. And she was like, "Oh, I think I've got a lead on the house that turned out to be an Airbnb." So she was a huge influence on that too. Like a huge that whole Mindseed thing kicked off with her. It's like very, very, very smart, very talented person.
It looks like it. I'm looking it up and I see like a YouTube channel with her, and it looks like some pretty awesome like alien sci-fi masks and stuff. Self-taught creator, maker of creepy, unique masks and weird stuff. That's awesome. I'll try when I get a chance. I mean, anytime now, Seg's going to keep talking, so I'll get the link and be able to put it in the chat room once he goes on as one of his tangents.
No, I'm good, man. I'm all talked out. It's all you now.
Oh hell no! I am skeptical of that. Speaking of skeptical, your approach to these YouTube videos and stuff, like you are probably one of the most skeptical ones that I've come across. You know, all the people that call themselves debunkers in this community. I see you as as probably more skeptical, like more in line with how I approach things. But do you have beliefs? Do you have any kind of beliefs in an afterlife or anything like that?
Kenny, you make me look like Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, I think we've said it before. Like I think myself and Mr. Gray probably fall most into the we're very much on the skeptical side of things. I think, and I'll be openly honest, I think like if ever I kind of give some sort of like leeway over the time being haunted, it's probably more because of how much I want it to be true rather than me thinking it is true. But my attitude's always been like, I want to be proven wrong. God, I genuinely want to be proven wrong. I'm not just saying that. But until I am, and I'll be honest with you, the more of these ghost hunts I've done, the more skeptical I'm getting. Like, I just don't think I don't think there's anything to it.
So what's what about the ghost hunts that do this to you? Like, what's the ongoing, I guess, practice or ideas that come out of these where it pushes you more and more towards that side?
Because you get very tired of talking to walls.
Yeah,
it's only so much of wall talking I can do before I'm like, I am just, the reality of the situation is I'm just talking to walls. Now, that doesn't mean to say that like a lot of the experiences, a lot of people come talk to me about and all the rest of it. I love hearing a ghost story. and all the rest of it. And what I've always sort of said, of all the thousands, if not maybe even millions of ghost stories out there, we just need one of them to be true or accurate, and then it blows everything that we thought we knew up. But I need proof. Like, you know, it's great that some people out there have proof that they believe to be proof, but I need something like that to happen to me. And I believe something may have happened to me when I was a kid, and I'm consistent with my debunking, skeptical mentality here. I try and debunk myself when it comes to something that happened to me back then. I think about the psychology of a lot of, like, how people's mentality when they approach these things, or when they, like, where are people at mentally when they believe these things have happened to them. And I apply, like I say, I apply that to myself as much as anyone else.
And as we should. I mean, I don't know if it's the same thing when I say, when I go to a place, when I go to a location with a group, anything that happens, I'm usually looking for a cause. That's just standard procedure anymore. You know, instead of sitting there and doing nothing, or sitting there and going, "Did you hear that? That's awesome." And that's it. Like, next thing you know, that experience is on their social media because they didn't actually go and check it out. So it's always important to go and check it out. So, but I've done this where my experiences when, like, years ago, when I was a ghost hunter, I look back at some of the experiences that I claimed were ghosts, and I apply the knowledge that I have now to that situation, and I can usually work out a logical explanation for it. So I guess when you go on, because you've been on a couple ghost hunts now, right?
I went on my first ever. I think I've done about 10 or 11, and I've got my first solo investigation that will probably come. I'll probably upload the video after next.
Okay.
So, like, it was the first one I've done where I was, like, all by myself, and I could just
for the entire
do what
time.
I wanted. Sorry?
The whole time, the entire time you were there? Oh, wow.
So I interviewed. So it's a pub that's known to be, which is awesome to investigate a pub.
Of course.
Awesome. And so it was like an old pub, opened its doors in 1888 in country Queensland, and with the exception of the lady the bartender there who did an interview for me, I was pretty much alone for the rest of it.
Wow.
But it's also a hotel as well, so it's like a little bit like how you get those, like, old West hotels, you know, bars, saloons, where they all have, like, rooms above it. Like, they're designed like that. A lot of those old pubs here in Australia as well.
Okay. So when you go on these things with groups, like, I've been to one with you, but is it general? I'd like to know your experience. Is it generally the other people ask you questions constantly, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Are they not grilling you, but kind of like you're the token skeptic? Do they treat you like that? Or is it you're just along for the ride? And have you ever experienced something that baffled you during one of these hunts?
So I would say, I'm very fortunate with the people I've been able to do investigations with the exception of Kenny, of course. I just had to put up with Kenny. But we like, I've always kind of felt that when I go on these, I don't personally feel like I'm being treated any differently with the people I have done investigations with. I do think there's an element of we really want something to happen to show Side-Eye Guy that there is something out there. Now, there's been a couple, like, when you say things we can't explain, plenty. There's loads of, like, knocks and creaks and all the rest of it. I can just say they are a knock. I can't explain exactly what that is. There was one example with myself. I think Dawson was in the chat. I'm not sure if he's still here, but we were in Brushy Mountain, and we went ahead of the rest of the group, and we went outside to the courtyard, and we heard something that was kind of weird. But then when we both talk about our accounts of what we thought we heard, they kind of varied. So we kind of both swear down we heard different things, which makes it kind of like. But again, it could be. I don't know what. We don't know what it was. Could have been anything. So I can't explain that. But the fact that I don't know, I can't attribute that to something that is not been proven.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's the thing that comes down to me. It's like not knowing doesn't open the door to the supernatural.
Right.
And like really, like it has to be like the only thing that can open the door to the supernatural is something very confronting, like something like not something from God knows where no one saw what it was and heard a noise like that. That doesn't add up to me.
Right.
So that would
be
be like there were some other little things here, like bigger things here and there that happened during these some of these investigations that we were able to debunk, but you know, I don't really feel like anything really significant has happened while I'm on these ghost hunts, and I'm hoping the more I do it, eventually something's going to happen. That's what I would like, an experience where I'm like, Jesus Christ, that was crazy.
I mean, it's interesting hearing that from you, because like I'm always presented with the question of has there ever been anything you can't explain, and I feel the same way. Like, yeah, there's tons of shit that I can't explain because I wasn't there at the time when it happened, or I don't have enough information. That doesn't mean it's paranormal. It doesn't mean it's some supernatural ghost, demon, whatever fairy tale you want to believe in. It doesn't mean it's that. And I also get asked the question, well, what would be good enough? What would be good enough evidence for you that something exists? And it's always a difficult question for me, because it depends on what are we talking about, you know, because I investigate everything, ghosts and UFOs and cryptids and stuff like that. So to say like something, to give an example of what would absolutely prove to me that the whole paranormal thing exists, I don't think there's one that would go into. Let me rephrase this. There's not one experience, I think, that would prove to me that there is an afterlife and there's also heaven and hell, demons, angels, and stuff like that. There's no one grand example that I think would happen. Because even if you see, say, like an apparition, that would just mean, all right, there's a transparent or semi-transparent guy or girl. That doesn't mean there's an afterlife. So I guess I'm trailing on. I'm babbling. So let me ask you.
Can I just follow on to that, please, if that's okay? Like, because like I agree with what you're saying, and this is always I get asked the same thing. Like, what would it take for you to believe in this stuff? And it is a very difficult one because I will fully accept that this must be so frustrating for believers to hear skeptics say this, but all I could do is apologize for the frustration. But it's the truth. Is that there are so many crazy things that we know that can happen to the human mind, things that can convince us that we see things, hear things, feel things that we've proven aren't necessarily there. That it would be, even with the most extreme stuff that someone can happen, there's still going to be an element of, I don't know, was I going through sleep paralysis? I don't know. Have I slept enough? Have I going through some sort of hallucination? Have I been so strongly influenced because I'm in this location and all the rest of it that I'm going to experience things that I wouldn't experience if I wasn't being influenced? There's a lot of different elements to this, and I understand, like I say, for believers that will be frustrating for here to say this, but they all have to be thought about quite thoroughly and discussed, and kind of like, you know, if you can eliminate them. But I also understand a lot of these things you can't really eliminate, so it just comes down to like, a lot of it is faith, a lot of it is just belief and what you feel about these things and how you personally feel. And hey, just quickly, I'm talking about that as someone that when I was a kid, I thought I saw a full-bodied apparition, and it's very hard to unsee what I believe I saw, even now as an adult, from what I saw as a kid. I can understand that when you think you've seen something that is completely unexplainable and completely fantastical, that it's hard to let go of that, because it's something that stays with you forever. And my thing has stayed with me forever. But like, I will openly debunk myself all the time with that. And I do kind of encourage everyone to do that, because I think when we just go straight to phantoms and ghouls and the paranormal, it's not doing that justice. I think you've got to kind of like really, really have a good think about so many other factors before you can entertain that thought process. That's just what I think anyway.
Right. I think there's various levels of what's considered evidence, because you have different, I guess, approaches. You have the weekend warriors, the very amateur ghost hunters that go out there, and I think that makes up the bulk of this community. And I'm not saying that to be mean. It's just it's a hobby. It really comes down to a hobby. Some people take it as a serious hobby, but it really does come down to a hobby. And you have these preconceived beliefs. They already come in thinking a place is haunted. They've heard the stories. They're ready and willing, very willing to accept something as spooky. So the bar is very low on what they would accept as evidence. Whereas I think you and I and several other people that we work with would say, well, no, there are other ways to create that event. There's other ways that we can experience that, because we have to take into account, like, your biases coming in. How much influence did you get before you came here? How are you interpreting in this? Are you even looking at data from any kind of data loggers or actual equipment, not the bullshit that's sold on ghost hunting websites, but actual equipment? Are you going off of contextual cues? Are you walking into an old abandoned building that's very creepy, very little furniture? What's there is broken down.
And are you just being agreeable with the other people in your group as well?
Right.
Well, that's a very big thing as well. Like, that happens quite a lot where people, did you hear that? Yeah, I heard that. Oh, it sounded like that. Yeah, it did sound like that. And that I've seen happen before in other videos.
Yeah. It's that groupthink mentality, where, somebody, you feel part of that group, that's your community, and you don't want to step on anyone's toes. Basically, you want to agree with them, because it's like, all right, we're all here together. If you say it's true, I'm going to believe it's true. And I found out a long time ago that does not mean it's true. Just because somebody said it or somebody thinks it, you got to show your work. And that's always what I'm asking for. Even when I'm asking questions and hard questions and stuff, I'm not being a dick about it. I want to be sure about it. Well, yeah. I mean, That's
just a bonus. Beginning to being a dick is just a bonus.
Oh, Sky Talker, Sky. Thank you.
Hey, Sky Talker.
One membership. That's awesome. Thank you. So, getting back to your videos, like, you do a lot of videos. You started doing them. You're like a reaction channel. Is that correct?
Yes, I was quite reluctant to label myself debunker for quite a while. And if Parple is still in the chat, he was a big reason why I went with the tag debunker, because I think it was after the Mindseed thing, and he said, if you don't call yourself a debunker now, I'm going to spread a rumor around that you've done it with a horse. I believe that comment is still on that video somewhere. So thanks for that, Parple.
Why? Explain why were you reluctant to call yourself that?
Oh, Kenny, because I didn't think I was smart enough, to be perfectly honest. So I was like, I associated people. I've been quite vulnerable now, my man. I always associated people who know how to debunk, like yourself or Rob or Mr. Gray, or they understood video editing, they understood masking, they understood the tricks of the trade when it comes to and I still to this day don't ever claim that I understand that stuff. I don't.
Right.
So it was like I always liked the idea, and I still do like the idea. I like the idea of being like a comedy roasting channel. Right. I like to make people laugh above. Like, to me, it's like, there's like certain tiers on my channel, but the absolute top of it is to make people laugh. I ultimately, every now and then, of course, I'll do a more serious video, which there's no laughing matter behind it. But the vast majority of my videos are made with the intention to make people laugh. And then, like, as the channel kind of progressed, and as I was getting a little bit more interested in digging a bit deeper in some of these things, I was like, you know what? Yeah, there's I found some things here that don't make any sense, or like, you know, are not truthful to how they're being presented on. And I thought I've got now that I found this, I've got to report on it.
Right.
So, you know, as time went on, I just suppose like everyone else was calling me a debunker, so I just called myself a debunker.
I still do not call myself a debunker, and I am not.
You're the best
Don't
of the
say it,
debunkers.
bitch. Don't say it. I've always, because I come across this a lot, and they ask if I'm Seg is hilarious. I do enjoy your videos because I do like the comedy roasting aspect of it, and that's first and foremost, that's how I approach your videos. And I think over time, as I've watched you progress over the last 2 years, right? You just celebrated 2 years, right?
That's right.
So as I've watched you progress, it's still comedy. I still find it hilarious. I still enjoy watching your videos for a laugh. But I have seen you develop and evolve into a more serious investigator where you're paying attention to the little details and doing good investigative work. So that's what I love. I love that progression over the years. You can still be funny. I mean, at least you think you are. And we can all laugh at you or with you.
We can all disagree with you there, mate.
We can all disagree. I mean, some of the really, I mean, I enjoy the comedy, but when you get into a serious investigative video, I fucking love it. I absolutely love it. And that's my wheelhouse. You know, that's what I do. So I enjoy watching it and picking up little tips of what you did. How did you find out this information? Because I think all of us, if we're investigating claims like this, no matter what you call yourself, we can learn from this. So I learn from you. I learn from other channels that I watch, Mr. Gray and stuff like that, and like little tips that they do, and we get to learn. Even Joe. I mean, I've learned one or two things from Joe. I don't like to admit it, but I do. But yeah, we get to learn from it. And
well, thank you very much. Thank you for saying that. It's very nice of you to say. I'm not used to you saying nice things to me, Kenny. Can you finish this all off with calling me a twat?
That's it. I am drunk, so. No. So, all right. So when you pick videos, how do you? I know that a lot of times you have a poll going. So like there's a voting system that happens. But early years, like, are there certain people that you look for, certain elements you look? How do you pick a video to do?
A lot of times it's people who like come to me and like whether it be in the comment section or privately, like DM me, saying, "Can you check this channel out?" Or "Can you check?" Or if it's a channel I've already made, they're like, "They've now done this video." There's certainly crowd favorites, as Mike Jason explained to you earlier. Mackie and Amanda. It splits the community. Some love it when I do Mackie and Amanda. Some really hate it when I do Mackie and Amanda because, good God, it's painful to get through. But what I've started to notice, like, people genuinely seem to like it when I will cover a channel that will drive me absolutely insane. Like fingers down at blackboards, like soul destroying videos that I got to sit through. They will always win the votes. Okay. But I like to have that kind of like community element with my channel. Is like, you know, I always think it kind of keeps me in check in a big way as well, that I don't want to take myself too seriously, or, you know, I like that my community can make fun of me, and I just like that element of everything. So like, you know, their attitude is like, it's really funny to make Seg rage quit the internet with this one, so we're going to pick that one kind of thing. But as far as like individual videos, man, it can sometimes not be that exciting. It's literally I will watch like the first 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm like, if I get a good vibe for it, I think I can make that video funny. And sometimes like I've just watched a video, and then like there's no debunking, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, I'm like, a fucking nugget just comes around, and I'm like, oh great, there we go. But sometimes when I get so far into a video, I'm like, I'm just going to see it through to the end now.
Right. So doing this 2 years now, I'm sure you've seen and experienced your ups and downs of feedback. And I'm just curious because I mean, I think we all go through it. If we're any kind of content creators, whether it's videos for YouTube or other platforms or articles or documentaries, whatever, we all have our ups and downs with how we hear from the viewers or the people that are interested in what we're doing. So I think again, I love your work, and I think a lot of people do love your work, and that shows like we have a lot of people more than normal in the chat because you're here.
I love you all for being here, by the way. Thanks very much.
Yeah,
and go obviously, goes that saying, go subscribe to Kenny. His stuff is great.
Thank you. So what about the bad stuff? Like, how bad has it gotten sometimes? And what I guess instead of just dwelling on the bad, for people out there that want to start their own channel or might be able to get into this and are interested in getting into this, what kind of warning or advice, let's say that advice, would you give them? Like, it can get this bad, and here's an example.
Good question. Advice,
yeah.
I would say if you do something similar to what I do, there's going to be a certain amount of backlash you've got to expect, because even if we take like the roasting comedy side out of it, which some people like, some people very much don't, and that's fine. But ultimately, when it comes to making these kind of videos, whether you want to call it debunking or whatever, you are either telling people they are wrong or they are lying, or sometimes you're saying they're outright incompetent. Like, in the nicest way, you can be like, hey, I think you're wrong about this. And people don't want to be called wrong. They don't want to be called a liar, and they don't want to be thought of as incompetent. So it takes quite a big person to kind of come back to some of the videos I make and go, you know, I thought that was really good, or well done, and I have had people do that, and I have a lot of respect for those sort of channels. But often it's more the fans of the channels that are worse than the channels themselves. And it does come with the territory that you've got to expect,
right,
a certain amount of backlash. And my advice to that would just be, and again, I'm by no means perfect on this. Like, you know, for those of you who might be aware, like, I went on a live stream last week and I got a lot of negativity in that live stream. I joined the live stream like I'm joining Kenny now, and it kind of, God, it went crazy, really, like nothing I'd ever quite seen before. That's an extreme. I would say that's like a quite extreme. That doesn't happen very often, like, you know, something like that. So if you were to start something like this, those sort of things don't happen so often. But you have to expect you're going to get a certain amount of backlash. It's part of YouTube. It really is. And equally, the people you can make videos on, because they're on YouTube, they have to understand that criticism comes with YouTube. And if you're going to dish out criticism, you have to be able to take criticism. If you're going to dish out roasting, you've got to take roasting. But if you're going to put a video on YouTube, you've got to expect that it is open to criticism. No one's above criticism. So I think that's kind of where I sort of deal with a lot of this in my head. That's how I prioritize a lot of these stuff in my head.
Thank you, Murray Jane Gin Juice, for the gifted membership. That's awesome. And I totally agree with that. I guess it comes down to, when you put your opinions out there for the public, you have to be ready for criticism. You should expect it. And I always say, like, when people approach me and ask about certain beliefs, if somebody has personal beliefs, no matter what they are, as long as they do not publicly preach them or they hurt anyone, like they influence or hurt someone with their whatever beliefs, as long as they're practicing or believing them in private, do what you want, man. You do you. I don't give a shit, really. It's when you bring it out into the public, that's when it's open to criticism. I don't have to.
Absolutely.
Nobody has to. But if there's things I disagree with, or that we can conclusively show or demonstrate are false, then yeah, I'm going to say something. And
I would also argue, especially if you're going to make money on that content, like
Yes.
it's even more up for criticism. I would argue.
Mhm.
Like, you know,
Right.
we get criticized all the time that, oh, you're making videos on XYZ creator, you're making money off them. It's like, yeah, but some of you guys are literally making money from the dead, and it's like, where do you kind of like draw lines on this sort of thing? But like, all said and done, if you're when you're making money on this sort of stuff, then there's, and myself included, I'm open. This criticism is open to me as well. Of course it is. But if you're kind of making money on this stuff, you are opening yourself, in my opinion, opening yourself up to be critiqued even more.
Right. And I agree. Like, where if someone's going to bring some kind of ethical standards into it, then with this group, this community, yeah, first and foremost, people that are making videos while ghost hunting are exploiting the dead. If you want to get down to the bottom floor here, it's exploiting the dead, because they're going in and they're trying to say that they have voices from the dead, or they have pictures of dead people. So by someone like you that's doing reaction videos to what they're promoting, these investigations, and I use the term loosely because I don't think most of them are investigations at all. I think they're more like stakeouts and thrill-seeking videos. But when you're doing reaction videos and also pointing out very, very obvious flaws, or sometimes not obvious flaws that the casual viewer would miss, then I think you're doing a good job at critiquing it, and also bringing education to the public. You're showing people like, hey, this is what you need to look for. And if you're not looking for it, you're being conned. Because the people that are preventing or promoting this they're making money off of you watching it. And in many cases, they know they're fucking around. They know they're faking it.
Oh yeah. I genuinely don't. I think a lot of the people, not all of them, by no means all of them, but I think a lot of the people that I make videos about don't even believe in ghosts.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I don't think they do.
I don't know. I don't know with that. It's difficult because sometimes I go back and forth. Like, sometimes I see some of the channels you and everyone else does. It's obvious they're just doing it because they want to scream and shout and get people to just subscribe. They don't give a shit about anything going on. But other times I don't know. Like, I really don't know. And it goes back and forth. Sometimes I'm like, no, they're fucking around. And then I watch another video and it's like, maybe they do really believe it. I don't know.
There's definitely been some channels that I've had like debates with myself and other people. I'm like, are they dumb or are they fake? Because some of the stuff in some of these videos are so preposterous, and they're so adamant that what they've caught is something legitimate, that I'm sort of left going like, is this just ignorance on a whole nother level, or are you just talking out your ass and you know it? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't know.
I think it comes from the evolution of TV, the reality TV aspect of it, because you had all these ghost hunting shows that were on network television, and they did not imply science. They didn't employ science at all. It was more like a pseudoscience or a sciencey kind of sounding method, and that kind of evolved over time to pretty much doing whatever you want. As long as you're in there and you have a gadget that lights up or makes a noise, you can say, look, we proved it. We have equipment. Yeah. And I think equipment is more, it's become a buzzword, at least in this community, because it's not equipment. I mean, that can be almost anything. But when you use it more in a scientific term, you're thinking, oh, it's a calibrated machine. It's going to read it. It's going to give you proper data, this and that. And then you have other people that have bullshit like this thing. that they're like, oh, look, we don't know how it works, but it lit up. So therefore go.
Oh, sorry, I'll let you
Jazz.
give Jazz there.
Yeah, thanks, Jazz, for the gifted membership. Appreciate that. So go ahead. We got
Yeah, crack on.
No, we're almost at break. So go ahead.
I was just going to ask, do you have a Paranormal Part 2?
I do not.
Because I think they're really expensive, aren't they?
A lot of these things are expensive. I didn't pay for this thing. A colleague of mine, a friend of mine, paid for it. I got one of those ultrasonic sensor things. I forget what it's called. But it was like $200, and that killed me. I was like dragging my ass on that. I did not want to hit purchase, but I wanted to see what was inside. I wanted to understand what it was, and I think it was just too new and too expensive for anyone to be done with it and willing to donate it, because that's usually how I get the equipment that I get, is that it's donated. So that I can take it apart, because I can't guarantee it's going to work after I do that. But yeah. All right. So we are at break. We're at the hour mark. So we're going to go to our break real quick so everyone can run to the bathroom and pee, because I know I got it. And then when we come back, we will do viewer questions. So we're going to take all the questions you've given Donna, or Donna has saved for over the last hour. You've been so quiet.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I almost forgot you were. All right. So we'll be back in, let's see, 4 minutes and 9 seconds from now.
And now for something completely different.
Welcome, my fellow skeptics. Welcome, one and all. I am the chief investigator. Oh, come along, old chap. We will have a ball. Now, if you will excuse me, it's time to open the mic. Good night. Good night. Kenny Biddle's the main investigating's my game, and I will have at it. Quid pro quo. As the head of this committee, hunting for ghosts can be shitty, but there is nothing better that I know. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? Let's open the bar and have some questions, alright. Maybe you might find an answer or two. I will find the truth this night and day, and if my name is not Kenny Biddle, then I assure you here I will not stay. Good day! Kenny Biddle's the name, goes hunting's the game. I won't let anything get in my way. Too many fakers out there, too many chefs, too many toe tappers, none of it makes any sense. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? Let's open the bar and ask some questions, alright. Maybe you might find an answer or two. Who knows? There may be ghosts in the machine, but trust me, I am not so keen. I prefer to see these things clearly, not in 144p. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? If you don't think I am right, let's open mic night. Yeah, yeah. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? If you don't think I am right, let's open mic night.
Hello, Santa. That's a nice beard that you have
Yeah,
there.
it's the only one I got where I can actually. If the audio's a bit crap now, it's the only one I can put the. I got a drink, by the way.
It's not too bad. I mean,
Where's my hold on?
you always sound like shit. So
Where's my hold on? Can't find my hole. There you go.
Yeah, I'm sure you have that problem a lot.
I found my hole, everyone. Oh, that's a good beer.
Oh, I wanted to, real quick. Wen Lee, yes, that was Area 51 that we went to in the break pictures. So we've been to quite a lot of places, at least around the states. And we've only been to Canada, so we've never really traveled internationally. But we're working on it. Oh, you have, yeah. I'll look into it. I need to get some skeptical organizations over in the UK to sponsor me and get me over there so I can do a tour and see everyone. But we have made.
You got to read Crow's comment there. That's pretty funny.
What do we got? Crow. Oh, which one is Kenny? Oh, I miss you, Crow. It was good seeing him. I hung out a while last night with them. Last night on that live, on Joe's live. All right, so we have made it to the second hour, and this is all viewer questions, which means Donna will be putting up questions for Seg and or me, but mostly for Seg, so that he can answer them, and we can put them on the spot. So have at it. Jade Kitten, do you have any more money burner stories you feel comfortable sharing? I love when she said she saw a ghost.
Yeah, money burner now. She's coming up and you know what? I'm sorry, guys. Give me a sec. I can hear. Can you? Do I sound okay?
You sound all right.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right.
You sound all right.
So money burner now is of an age where she thinks YouTube is the best thing in the world. And now she understands that her dad does YouTube. She wants to tell all of her friends that her dad's a YouTuber. And I'm trying to tell her it's a secret because she's saying it in front of her friends' parents. And I'm like, no, my daughter thinks I've just made some funny videos with her. You know, that's it. It's just, you know, I mean, I'm trying to like downplay it. And I'm trying to say to Money Burner, I was like, just stop. Stop that, please. Like, it's a secret. It's a big secret for Daddy's. Daddy's secret. And like, I'm like, it's hard. That's going to be hard. Like, because she's 7, so she's of an age where she doesn't quite. First of all, she thinks like keeping secrets is a bad thing, really. So you know what I mean. I'm like,
yeah, I hear you.
Right.
It's a hard one to kind of balance, but yeah, that's where Money Burner's at right now. And she also understands that Daddy does things with ghosts, and I'm like, do you believe in ghosts? She said no.
Yeah,
and that was without me kind of going, you know, ghosts aren't real. But she's like, no, I don't. It just doesn't. You know, she's like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, all
right, good, all right, cool. What else we got? Cree Storm. Do you guys ever think you assume some investigators think a piece of equipment going off is thought of as paranormal when they are just excited because something has changed in their environment?
Yeah, I would say sometimes it could just be Jesus Christ, something's actually happened. Like anything. Like Kenny will know this. Like you can just sit in these rooms sometimes and you could just ask this. There's only so many questions you can ask before you're like, I just hope to God anything happens. And, you know, if a REM pod goes off, you're like, Jesus Christ, finally something happened. And whereas eventually it will just go off.
Yeah, I think that there's, because I do speak generally sometimes, and I shouldn't, but I make sweeping statements once in a while where I say that ghost hunters think this, ghost hunters think that. And unfortunately, it should be implied, but I should say it, that not all ghost hunters will think like every time a device goes off, it's a ghost. So that's my disclaimer there. But I think usually when I bring it up, or especially if there's a specific case, it's because that specific person made a comment about a device going off and that it was in relation to a ghost. And I also get the ultimatum sometimes, like, what else could it be? And then I have to go through a list of what else it actually could be. And then that's usually doesn't go over well. But I mean, that's just the thing. But yeah, you're right. I mean, once in a while, I probably do assume and make a sweeping statement. But I think for the majority of it, I usually stick to specific cases. There you go. That is.
I said I was going to wear this later.
That is the creepiest shit I have seen in a while.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Not that I'm scared. It's just so weird. But it's so natural for you. I mean, yeah. Is it weird having hair?
Yeah, it gets in my way a lot. I tried to use this on an investigation one time, and I'm like, it just get out my. It just was so annoying. Like, why am I doing this? Like doing like the whole, from the Ring.
Yeah, but well, you might you should be careful because Patty Negri may channel you if you keep that on too long. Michael Jackson. All right, I was waiting for him to get that.
Yes.
All right. He looks
What a
like Dollar
legend.
Store Marilyn Manson. Oh, that's good. That's good.
I prefer Dollar Store Robert Smith.
Oh my goodness. All right, what else we got? We do got a lot of questions. That's good. That's good. Monica, hello. Since I'm new to the channel and a former bartender, I just need to know what's in Kenny's specialty. So it is a rum-based Arnold Palmer. So it's lemonade, tea, iced tea, and rum. And in this case, lots of golden Kraken rum.
Oh, that's why.
I'm kind of just quickly say, like, there's no guarantee of this. So I haven't got the flight sorted yet, but I'm hoping to go visit Kenny when I'm in America. And can I just say, Kenny, if I do go there, can I have some of that tea?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We are going to get fucked up.
Yes. Yes.
A live show.
And we're going to do a live show and we're going to switch places and we're going to do another mask pulling and make everyone even more convinced that I am you.
Yeah.
All right. What else? So there you go, Monica. Yep. Specialty is just copious amounts of rum within iced tea and lemonade. Cray Storm, Sag, did you ever think that doing what you do would so many, am I reading it wrong? Would so many through depressive situations and such? Am I missing something? Am I reading that wrong?
Do you ever think that doing what you do would
like
maybe put you through so many depressive situations and stuff?
Yeah.
All right, maybe that's it. We'll
I
figure
know
it
that
out.
you and Adequate Horizons got me through a really bad time. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll be perfectly honest. Like, I think to do this, you do have to have a bit of thick skin. There is every now. I don't want to keep going on about this, by the way, guys. I'm not going to keep going on about this. I'm really not. But like, what did happen the other day, the other week? Like, I'm not going to sit there and say like, I don't know, like had like a really crazy negative experience on me. It wasn't nice to go through, but it's not enough for me to like I say, I don't know.
Right. It's all right. I mean,
I don't know how to answer that, really, to be perfectly honest. It's like I'll do my best to answer. It's like, to do this kind of stuff, I do this knowing full well that not everyone's going to like what I do. Not everyone's going to agree with what I do. Some people are just going to take the most negative approach of why I do what I do. And that's perfectly fine. Everyone's entitled to that opinion of theirs. That's perfectly fine. But I think if you kind of dwell too much on that, you just lose sight of what's most important. I think ultimately the best way of putting this, and I learned this a little while ago, is to I'm very, very lucky that I've got so many, like a lot of the people here are watching this live stream right now. I get so many people that are shower me with like lots of praise and compliments and love for the kind of stuff I do. Why focus on the people that hate what I do and not just focus on the people that have my back and enjoy what I do? And that's, I make my videos for you guys, not for them. So stop giving those people the attention and focus on the people that, you know, deserve it.
Right. And I mean, over the years, you realize, I think doing this so much, even for a short time or a long time, whatever, you learn that you have to have a thick skin. You're going to have people that hate you. And that's the bottom line. And I've talked about this before, where some of the emails that I get that I post and people get to see, like I post the emails that I receive from some people and they're horrible. You know, they want me to go, you know, all the, I don't know what the proper term is anymore, unalive, you know, myself or this and that. And they wish really like car accidents on me, my family and stuff like that. Yeah. Just because I disagreed with a belief. That's part of the territory. And like we had a conversation a while back, but it's when I put videos out or articles, I never look at the comments. I rarely look at the comments. I might see a few if I recognize the name. And I say, all right, let me see what they said. That, you know, and if they appreciate what I did, that's awesome, you know, and I appreciate that. But I don't get into arguments. I don't get into debating online because that's just a waste of time. But if you ask for help, and I think you're the same way, if somebody asks you for help, you're going to help them. Yeah. And that's what we're here for. So, but that was a good answer. Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Yeah, let's move on to another question because we got so many. All right, Blast Rights. Hello, Blast Rights. Seg, I know you've probably answered this before, but do you have previous experience with editing, or were you self-taught, just making a video the way you prefer to watch it?
YouTube helped me in a very big way. So yeah, Side Eye Guy is the first channel I've ever done. I've never even thought of, I've always kind of liked the idea of doing YouTube, but I never knew what to talk about. And like, so it was when the idea of this channel, as I mentioned earlier, came up, it was like, oh, okay, this is a good excuse now to try this platform. But yeah, I didn't know. I think what's helped me a lot is that I took influence on how I wanted to like cut the videos up and comment over it and all the rest of it. Like there's like some other channels that do the same kind of thing, like channels I've been watching a while that I enjoy. Like some older channels now, like that's pretty much what like the Nostalgia Critic does with his movie reviews, or very similar to like Angry Video Game Nerd, if anyone remembers that guy from back in the day. And then I just wanted to apply that to ghost hunting, really. So I kind of, once I just found out how to do the absolute basics on YouTube just over time, the absolute basics on, because I use very, very basic video editing software. I use iMovie for everything. And it does everything I need it to do. I use iMovie and Canva. I use Canva for all the other stuff. So yeah, a lot of it is self-taught. And there's still, especially in Canva, there's still tons I've got to play around with. But over time, I'm like, oh, okay, you could try a little bit more ambitious with this, and this is what I've got in my head, and I like to try and like present that on the screen as best I can. And yeah, so over time, like it gets a bit. I feel like I've still got a lot to learn with it, but like,
right,
you know, yeah, it's all blah blah blah. Self-taught is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, I started doing videos. I started making videos with Windows Movie Maker. That was my first experience with editing, and they're horrible. I think most of them I took off of my channel because they were just so bad. And then I worked my way up to different things, and now I have professional software that I use. But I'm the same way. There's so much in that software that I haven't touched, that I don't know how it works, or I haven't tried yet. I just know what I like, and that's what I try to make. And but yeah, that's awesome. All right, moving on. Wayne Dawson, what's up? Kenny, did you?
Hey, Wayne.
have any disagreements when you investigated together? Oh yeah, we fought the entire night. We were beating the shit out of each other.
No, I didn't like the type of eyeliner Kenny was using.
Yeah, and his masks really smell funny. Like they smell weird. So
I farted in that mask before you wore it.
I figured. I recognized this thing. That's great.
I mean, in the end, I had to put the mask back on, so I kind of had to.
Right.
I kind of cut my own nose there to spite you, but it was worth it.
What, I don't think so. We didn't have any disagreements.
No.
I think we ganged up on Dawson.
Well, there was a couple of things. Yeah, we did gang up on Dawson a little bit. Poor Dawson. But you and I do seem to agree on most things, I feel.
Yeah.
When it comes to this, anyway. This sort of like corner of the world, or our lives. I think we do agree, because like ultimately it just comes down to like it's whatever little small things we might disagree on, it all comes down to the same core issue of evidence, and you and I are just big fans of evidence.
Right. Cool. All right, moving to the next one. Mark's random curiosities. Hello, Mark. Do you think ghosts are taught how to make gadgets light up and buzz, or does it come natural for them? All right, Mark is gone. Get him out of here. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you want a real answer or not, because I love all the smiley faces, man, but I think you're just mocking us. Damn it.
Okay,
Mark.
that's fun.
If you're serious, Mark, come back on and say you're serious, and we'll give you an answer. Wisdom. Is it even possible that something that can be debunked could have actually been paranormal, and you are wanting paranormal to not be real? No.
Let me just read that again. Is it even possible that something that can be debunked can have actually been paranormal, and you are? I mean, if it can be debunked,
we're going in just wanting to debunk it, and I think that's what that's getting at. That we want it to be debunked, so it could be paranormal, but we just won't. We don't give it a chance. That's what. No, I don't think so. I don't think either one of us.
I would argue that I personally would go with no with that. But even if that was the case, then if it can be debunked, and then the option is like, is it debunked and it's something that explainable within the realms of what we know as reality, or if it's something that is completely off our plane of reality, I'm going to go with that. And like, you're free to go with that, but I feel like you've got to back that up with something, because if it can be debunked, it's been, as far as I'm concerned, it's been debunked. It's put it this way, it comes down to what's more likely. I think that's what it is. But again, if you wanna kind of go down and say, oh, it could be debunked, but it could still be paranormal, that's great. But you've got to kind of argue that case.
So I think it comes back to the term debunked. So by definition, modern definition, debunk means to take the falseness out of a statement. And so if somebody makes a claim, they're making a statement that this is a ghost, this is haunted, and you provide sufficient evidence that says no, everything that you've presented to it in favor of it being haunted has been explained by natural causes or logical reasoning, then that in effect has been debunked. I think there's also the replication. So if somebody reports an experience and we can go in and replicate that experience by natural means, does it mean it's debunked? No. It means it can be replicated with natural means. So therefore, that has to be considered. We can't just go with the idea that this is paranormal, because now we know there is a natural way to make that happen. And that has to be considered from now on.
I would also like to extend that further and sort of say that, if something, whether it's been 100% debunked or whether you just want to offer you're happy to debunk the debunk. I'm all for that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if someone says, I think this has been debunked, any of my debunks, by all means, if you can debunk, and I've had that people put it, like, I put something out there that I'm very careful what I call a debunk and what I just call my opinion anyway. I don't like just throwing around the word debunk or saying someone is lying when I'm like, this is just my opinion. But whether it be my opinion, whether it be something that I claim is a debunk, everyone is always welcome to debunk that debunk me, by all means. Like, I'm
right.
It's all going to be like skepticism doesn't end with skepticism. You can be skeptical of skepticism, if that makes sense. Like, it should always, all of it should always be challenged.
And I mean, that's something that we do. Like, I go around and I watch you guys. I watch all the different channels in this community. And if they give an explanation for something and I don't agree with it, I'm going to contact them and say, hey, you know what? You said this, but I'm kind of leaning towards this, and here's why. Yep. So if it turns out to be like what I said, which doesn't always happen, but if what I said turns out to be true, then yeah, in essence, the joke that's going in the chat is I debunked the debunk. And that's what we should be doing. It's okay to question each other. That's it. We don't take it personally. You should be questioning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, you can't make a sort of name for yourself by questioning others and then not be able to handle it when that question comes back to you. Right. That's just an inconsistency I can't get behind.
Right. I'm constantly questioned on my work, and it's not just from people that don't believe or believe differently. It's the people that I work with sometimes. Yeah, my peers come out and say, well, I don't think so. Tim Binga, who's in the chat, Obscure Reference Man. I mean, we've had conversations where I thought one way, and he brought up different ideas, and it's like, oh shit, you're right. I didn't think about that. Okay, good. I learned something. That's the ultimate goal, to never stop learning.
Never stop learning.
Yeah, like I got that in. What else we got? Jeff AF, what's up, buddy? Ever get worried about or had been in a lawsuit for debunking a location and they sue for hurting them financially? I have captured digital pulses from a hidden transmitter, faking investigator groups at a famous payload. Oh, that's interesting. We should talk. I'd like
no, never happened. I've never been threatened with a lawsuit. Never even been threatened with a lawsuit, let alone had a lawsuit thrown my way. So, no, never happened.
Oh, I have been. Oh, Kaza, thank you so much for the 5 membership. That's awesome. Thank you. So everyone that got a membership in the chat, make sure you thank Kaza. So I have been threatened with lawsuits. I do have one. There's at least one that's hanging up. I framed it and put it up on the wall because it was a psychic that I destroyed, and she threatened to sue me.
It was like the first letter you got here.
The first letter, yeah. First letter. I wasn't here like 2 months, and I got a letter. And you got to go into your boss and be like, I got threatened to sue, because they have to inform the insurance company and all this stuff. So it's like 2 months, and I'm already causing trouble. Yes. They like it. They like that. It's like, good. Yeah, good. You're stirring the pot, and you're taking a bad guy. You're taking attention away from the bad guy. So I'm okay with it. All right, what else we got? CPR. How do you handle investigating with your investigating partner who always uses and believes in an app, Spirit Talker, in every investigation? Throw the fucking phone away. Just take it out of their hand, throw it.
You're not allowed to have phones at an investigation.
And Donna speaks.
Well, I think if you're going to do that, and you're like, to be respectful, like if that's something they really believe in, I think you can make an agreement that, okay, can we just try it for a section of this investigation and then turn it off for a later on? I don't think that's unreasonable to reach those sort of compromises with someone. I've done this. Like, I've been on investigations where apps were used, when people know full well I don't like apps. And I just sort of say, like, at a point where, like, can we just try turning them off now and just see what happens?
Right.
And guess what? The exact same shit.
I mean, most of the I won't call them investigations, because usually when I investigate, I'm I try to go solo, or if I'm there with a group, I do my own thing. I do my own thing. But if I'm there tagging along with another group, or it's a pay-to-play kind of thing, I will observe. I'm not going to say anything. I will observe and just watch what they're doing, how they're using it, how they interpret the results, quote unquote results, from an app. But I mean, if it's something that bothers you, I would just advise, talk to your partner, and find out why they're using it, why they want to. And like Seg said, if they really want to, or if they really believe in it, then take turns, try it for a little bit, let them try it, and then try it without it and see what happens. I mean, we did that at the Bel Air house.
Yeah.
When you were stuck in the cubby hole with your headphones on, which was hilarious, trying to watch him have a mask on and also headphones over top of the mask. That was but at one point, you were calling out whatever you heard on the radio, and I think Dawson was asking questions.
I love the way you phrased that. Whatever you hear on the radio, because that's what it is.
Because that's fucking what you're
That's
doing.
all an Esther session is, guys.
I was like, Dawson, like, stop asking questions. See what happens. There should be a difference. He shouldn't call out anything if there's no answers. But you kept calling out what you heard on the radio. And I hope that it had an impact on him. But I don't know. If he's still in the chat, let me know, Dawson. Did we change your mind? Probably not.
I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah. I hope that answered your question, CPR. All right. What else we got? Jazz? Is it jazz or jazz? Jazz hands. Ketty, still no luck figuring out how the epic box work. Same here. So we did get additional information. Somebody out there that's been in the chat, she was able to record 4 sessions with this thing going for a half hour each. I'm through 3 of them. Timing it, it's definitely different than what we got, but I have to wait for all the results.
They called you out.
I was going to say it too.
Damn it! Did that on purpose. So
some of you got to rename your channels to something really, really difficult. Like you can start renaming your channels to like ancient Greek text.
Oh man, I need more liquor. But yeah, I mean it's I have it over here. I have like let me see that real quick. There are numbers just going through the video and writing down numbers and stuff. So I'll have a little bit more information later, but I think it's still either a predetermined pattern or it's a randomized pattern. That's it. I don't think it still doesn't have any sensors, so it can't get any inputs from anything. So there you go. All right. Next. Mysteries Untold by Michael Burkeen. Hey, Seg, I hope you are well. This might be a silly question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Have you ever had something that you couldn't debunk?
Yeah, we kind of mentioned this earlier. For sure. All the time. It's all the time. Like, I'm never going to sit here and claim that I'm the best debunker. I say often in my videos, like, hey, I don't know what this is that happened in the video, and this is quite interesting. Some of the times I just say, hey, I think this is blah, blah, blah. That's not me debunking anything. That's just me saying that's what I think it is. But I've always said this in as well, like, a debunk is a very difficult thing to do when you are watching a video. You're not there. You don't often you've got to like research to see if you can find what is around the surrounding area. You have to abide by the edited version of what you are watching on of the video. You are relying on what the content creators or ghost hunters are telling you some of the time. You have to try your best to kind of disconnect from like the audio pareidolia that they clearly are influencing you with. It's not easy to, and I know that's the point. Like, it would be boring if it was easy, but it's often to like get a debunk. You know, it's you've got to like really read between the lines and hope that they've made a mistake.
Right.
Or it's not necessarily like a debunk doesn't necessarily mean I'm saying that like a debunk is a lie. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lie. They can just be wrong about something.
Right. And I mean, when it comes to fakes versus mistakes, you have to, there's a line there. If somebody has made a mistake, they are not deliberately faking something. So you can debunk that. If they're deliberately faking something, you're not really debunking per se, you are exposing a hoax. And there's a slight difference there. I mean, it's semantics really, but there's a slight difference. And you want to make sure that the information that you have is solid, because we've always preached this. The burden of proof is on the one making the claim. So if they're making a paranormal claim about something, it's up to them to prove that, to supply sufficient evidence in support of that. However, if you call someone fake, now the burden of proof is on you, because now it's up to you to provide sufficient evidence that they did in fact fake something. And it's very difficult to do just from.
And it's also something that you've got to be very careful not to throw. I mean, obviously, there's some channels that we can say it all day long about because, of course, they are. But there's other channels where it's like, and I learned this actually with Dawson actually at Nightmare Nation when I did that video on them. And I don't think I ever called them fake, but I was like alluding to it. I definitely was alluding to that they got like some things wildly wrong and they're taking liberties with certain things. And after talking to Dawson, like he really kind of made me realize, because it's very easy to forget that there's a person on the other end of the screen that you're criticizing. And Dawson said to me, I'll never forget it. He's like, you made me want to quit my channel when I made that video. He's a very small channel. He's at the time, and he told me that when I met him in person. He told me that, and I felt awful. I was like, that's because I've never ever wanted that. And even when I said when I made that video about him, I never wanted the intention behind anything I say is not for anyone to like want to quit their channel ever. Even the channels I can't fucking stand, I'd never want that to happen. So it's kind of made me go, you know what? I've got to be careful on what I say here. And because the last thing I want to be, I don't want anyone to kind of go, oh Christ, because of what something Seg said, I feel like I can't continue doing this, whether it be a hobby or career aspirations or whatever it might be. So yeah, when you call someone fake, it is actually quite a serious accusation you're making, because it's not just their content and the credibility of their channel, it's them as a person as well.
Right. All right, cool. Moving on. Michael Burkeen, does Seg wear his mask all the time or just while filming?
Just while live streams, really. But I pop out to the shops and get myself a pint of milk and wear this. And it's 50-50 if I make it back home without getting some man in the white coat dragging me into the back of the van and taking me to an insane asylum.
Oh man.
It can be quite difficult. My kids are still scared of me. They won't go anywhere near me. That's a bonus.
I mean, yeah. I gotta understand that. Oh my goodness! Didn't you wear one out for Halloween? He's got to look through. He's got to try and look through the screen. One? Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah.
Should I put it on?
Creepy.
Yeah, put it on.
That's creepy.
Because it can't be. It's less creepy than the hair. The hair is just messing with
you
me.
up.
Yeah, like none of the masks have hair except for that one, and it's freaking me out. Oh my goodness, this has been a good show so far. Oh, there he is.
Oh.
See now he's gonna now he's playing the part.
Yeah,
I love it.
So here's kind of a follow-up question to that.
Is the mask because you want to remain anonymous, or is there another reason? Well, he's butt ass ugly. That's what I've seen him in person, and it scared the shit out of me. I remember
You ain't wrong.
Put the mask on. Put the mask on, please.
Please, for the children.
So, what is it? What is it about the mask?
Again, this one's got quite a small mouth hole, so it might sound a little bit. I might sound quite muffled in this one, so apologies. Multiple reasons. Like for me personally, and I always sound like I feel like I sound like a complete arsehole when I say this. Shut up, Kenny. That I'm not saying I'm not conceited enough to kind of go, oh my god, I'm so famous. I know I've got a small channel. I know that I'm not a big channel, but I like to have a separation. I don't like the idea of being recognized in any way, to be perfectly honest. I like my anonymity. I don't do YouTube for fame. And that's not me having to go anyone who doesn't want to wear a mask. By all means, do YouTube however you want. I'm never going to criticize how people want to do YouTube. But for me, I always like that idea of a separation between my personal life and YouTube. And that's just basically what I like about the mask. I like the anonymity of it. That doesn't mean to say that I'll be wearing a mask forever. Like, I think there's probably a decent chance that one day. What I've always said is that I'm a long way off this. But if ever I reach 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to put a vote out to all the people who watch my channel and just say, should I do a face reveal or not? And I'll leave it up to you guys if you want to see this ugly mug behind my mask.
I would advise everyone to say no. You don't want to see it.
Me too.
I think it's good because it's back and forth. I mean, and we've been to some conventions and stuff where people that have not liked me, like they come right up and it's a pain in the ass. It makes the weekend.
Did you say convention or family reunion?
That's funny.
Well, both. Yeah, it is. But I get it. It would be nice, especially. I don't know how this is going to sound, but when I've gone to places, especially like paranormal events where I want to like sit for a psychic reading or something like that, and I walk up and I sit down and they're like, no. The straight no. And I'm like, why? What do you? No, I know who you are. No, don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks because all right, so now I don't have that opportunity. But I mean, fuck you. I'm going to hire somebody else to sit down for you, and I'll get the information I need. But I can't do it myself, And or if I go to a place and it's a group and they start doing things out of character. And it's almost like they're trying to do something that they think I will like, or that they think I will not criticize, or something like that. Like people just, and it's not all the time, but sometimes it's just they don't be themselves. They won't be themselves, and there's like an expectation or something. Again, I don't know if that comes off as like conceited or what, but it kind of sucks because I don't get the real person. I'm not talking to the real person. I'm talking to someone that they're thinking, oh, what answer do I want to hear? That's what they're going to give me. And I don't want that. I want people to be honest.
I get that. Yeah.
So I think that's good. I think it's good that you keep your private life private so that you can enjoy life and you don't, because I mean, going back, and I hate to go back to the thick skin stuff where you have people that don't like you. Like it becomes a problem, and if they know who you are, then your private life is not so private because they will infringe on that, and it sucks. So I think it's a good idea that you keep the mask on, not just because you're ugly as fuck, just because you should keep it.
You just say it so nonchalantly, like no hesitation.
I mean, it's easy to say when it's true. So
You're welcome, everyone. I'm doing this for you, people.
With the mask
Will you bring a mask when you come to America? What will airport security think? Have you had a trouble?
I mean, I'm hoping there's not going to be any issue taking it as checked luggage. Jesus Christ, that's a real big problem if they don't like it as checked luggage.
True.
I am not getting that through customs.
Right. Well, you had two of them when we met up. So
Yep.
obviously you had no problem then. So yeah,
No, it's fine. It'll be fine
when you have them here. So all right, cool. Next, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting down to the wire here. Ghost Eerie Paranormal. Scene fakery will easily get noticed. Do you think the videos you do on them will get outdated? For instance, do you need the fakers more than rational investigators? Scene fakery will easily get noticed. Oh, so you mean like if people have watched your videos and they get used to it, do you think they will be outdated? I don't think so. Do you need a faker?
I'll be honest. I'm not so sure I understand the question. Like, what would exactly be outdated? Because the debunk's always going to, or if you're noticing something faking something, it's always that won't be outdated.
Yeah, I think the skill set is still going to be of value, because maybe not the exact scenario, but you're going to have people that repeat the same kind of tricks because they either don't know other people have done it, or in my experience, many amateurs that are just coming onto the scene and try to fake something, they're using tricks that they think they developed themselves and nobody else knows about, but it's been done 1,000 times and they still do it. So when your videos are out and you expose something like that, that information gets out there and it's needed, because not only you, but other channels that put information like that out there where it spots the fakes, not just the fake people, but exposes exactly what's going on, what you looked for, how you discovered it was trickery. That learned skill will translate to further investigations by whoever watches it. So we don't need fakers more than rational investigators. We need both. Well, we don't need both. We need rational investigators to look at the quote unquote fakers to help bring that information to the rest of us.
I agree with. I mean, really, there should be no need for debunkers. All the investigators should be their own debunkers. We're kind of here mainly and again, like, no one's perfect. If someone makes a mistake, we kind of say, hey, I think this might be a mistake, or for people who are going to fake stuff. And the reality of the situation is you're always going to get, whenever there's an opportunity for financial gain, you're always going to get bullshit.
Right.
That's just the reality of life. So there's always going to be a need for us, unfortunately. Right. As much as no one wants there to be, there is.
And you can watch like 50 channels on YouTube, but it might be a different 20 channels that have something else. Or that's not what I want to say. I don't know how I want to say it. Like, just because you watch some channels and you get exposed to something doesn't mean that somebody else that's watching that same channel isn't going to expose that. So there's always going to be content. I think that's what I'm getting at. There's always going to be content.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Bring up and showcase. So, all right, cool. Next, please. Wayne Dawson, for both. Why do you think the fake channels continue to deny they are fake even when they've clearly been debunked? Should just admit it and be honest. There's no profit in it. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, less money.
That's sad, but true.
You don't need to admit it. I mean, and as we've seen over the years, like, controversy and drama gets views. So if you have someone calling you fake and you stand up against it and say, no, we're not, the believers in your channel or what you're doing will stay with you. They're loyal. And then you're going to have other people coming because they're going to hear like the debunk or something like that. And they're going to come to your channel because they want to see the original stuff. So it's better to keep saying, no, I'm not fake. They're lying, this and that, and promote that drama, because that gets people keep coming back, and you can make more of it. That's more content. That's more and more content, because now you can go on and just bitch about it for an hour on a live, and you'll get views, and that translates into revenue. So there's no reason for them to do it. I mean, I think it's more respectable when they do and say, look, we're doing this for entertainment. That's it. You know, I respect that, but you're not going to have a lot of channels do it, because it's money. It's the money. So, all right, good. Sorry, I answered your question.
No, that's fine. I pretty much answered it with that. That's pretty much what you just said.
Okay. Clown Justice. Have either of you ever come across personal or watched a video you couldn't debunk or recreate? Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, there's stuff out there. I mean, I watch things and I'm like, I don't know how they did it. And depending on my schedule, I'm not going to devote time to it. It might be something down the road that I'll look into. I'll come back to. But
like for instance, I did a video when Oh My Gosh and the fam went a couple of months ago when they went to the Monroe House, which I believe you were at not so long ago, Kenny.
Yes.
And there was a whole bunch of stuff in that I believe I could debunk and show inconsistencies here and there and blah blah. And there was one bit I didn't include it in the video, but because it was running too long as it was. But they I forget what happened now. There was something like in the corner room and something fell over, and I have no idea how they did it. I have not. But like considering it's Oh My Gosh and the fam, like it's obviously fake because they are a very clear as day fake channel. Remember what I was saying earlier, you've got to be careful who you say you're fake at. At the same time, when it's obviously fake, it's obviously fake. Bollocks to like giving those guys the benefit of the doubt. But like, you know, the fact of the matter is I don't know how they did it, but I don't believe it for 1 second. Quite often, sometimes all you need to debunk it is just listen to their bloody terrible acting on how they respond to it.
Right.
That's the most unnatural. Oh my God. Oh wow, it fell over. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, fuck off.
Like, all right, man, it fell over. Shit happens. Like, get over it. All right, moving on. Good question now. Ghost Quest. Hey, buddy. Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy.
Do you feel that since Side-Eye Guy is its own entity, that you, the man behind the mask, can say things you normally wouldn't be able to say without having that character? Interesting. Yes.
Do you feel the man behind the mask can say things you would normally? Okay, so yeah, like, well, that's a very interesting. I don't want to get too deep here, but that's a very interesting psychological question, really, isn't it? It's like, in general, I think they've actually done studies on this that people say and do things that they would in a mask they wouldn't normally do. That gives a certain amount of. You could like almost recreate yourself to an extent,
right?
Or
something
mold.
like ventriloquists, like Jeff Dunham. He can say a lot of things that he shouldn't be saying himself, but he says it through puppets, and therefore
because it's like, he's saying it through a caricature of a dummy, and it's just a bit funnier. Yeah, for sure. Actually, there is. I do try my best. I don't get me wrong. I'm no saint. Every now and then I'll make like a joke that might get me in trouble or something like that, but it's always surrounded by a joke. I don't know. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Yes would be the answer to that. I can't think of like a specific example, but yeah, I'm sure there are definitely things that I would say I probably wouldn't say as the guy behind the mask than I would with Seg, for sure.
Okay. All right. You want to do one more question and then maybe go to a break and then come back? Yeah? Okay. Yeah. All right. What got Seg interested in debunking?
The humor of it.
Yeah.
I kind of answered that before, but like in short, the humor of it. Like I still think to this day, after doing it for 2 years, it's funny. It's really funny. And I think no matter how seriously you take this stuff, I think everyone should be able to appreciate that there are certainly some channels and property owners or whatever, and some of the stuff they claim, and some of the way they try and gather evidence, or some of the things they try and pass off as evidence is funny.
Yeah.
So I always like to find the humor behind all of it.
It's that almost like hidden comedy, because they state something with such conviction, and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you gotta be joking. You really gotta be playing a character.
Yeah.
All right. One more question, and we'll go to break. Let's say someone captures something that they think is legit. If it was me, I wouldn't put it on Facebook or YouTube. What are the proper protocols? Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good question. Again, there's some things, I don't want to go into it again, but there are some things that people make the argument shouldn't be on Facebook and YouTube. And I've made videos about some of these videos. Yeah, there's like sometimes, like if we're taking the moralistic standpoint out of the question here, like something you think is legit, it's all going to come down to, again, making money. That's why it's on Facebook or YouTube. It's on Facebook or YouTube for two reasons, really. Like, you can make an argument for three reasons. One is to find answers or get people opinions and responses to that. The second is going to be attention. Don't ever underestimate attention. And the third will be for monetary reasons, so to make money.
Right. Yeah, I the proper channels here. I mean, if you're serious about it, if you want to get it looked at and analyzed, then first of all, don't put it on Facebook or YouTube. Just don't do that, because that's not putting alleged evidence on social media is not the way to go. Reach out to someone that has expertise in specific subjects that deal with what you're talking about. So if you have a photo or a video, send it to a professional, several professionals, not just one, several, and get their opinions on it. What could this be? What could cause this? And listen, take it into account, because that's the only way you're going to figure out what's really going on. Because if you don't have expertise in it, then you can't make an opinion on it. And unfortunately, we see that a lot in this community, where someone calls themselves a paranormal investigator, a title that they give themselves. They suddenly become an expert in every field known to man. And that's just ridiculous. So, but yeah, that's my advice. Like, find people that are legitimate professionals, preferably outside of this community. Don't get someone that's a ghost hunter, because they can come at it with a bias. Not saying that they will, but they're.
Or if you are going to get someone like that, also get someone with the who thinks the other way around as well.
Right.
Like, if you're going to get someone who's biased in one way, maybe ask someone who's biased in another, and then try and get someone in the middle. You know what I mean? Just a variety of people with different takes on this. That would probably be the way I would, because it's going to be very, very difficult to find people who don't have a bias in one way or the other, myself included.
Yeah. I mean, I can give an opinion on topics that I'm well versed in, but this is going to be my opinion, and that's what I'm going to tell you. This is based on my knowledge and experience and this and that. Feel free to talk to somebody else. You know, if you don't agree with it, or if you want a second opinion, by all means, please go. And I'll even talk to them if you want me to. So, all right. With that, do you have to go soon, or do you have a couple minutes?
No, I'm good, mate. I've got the day off.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna do our hour 3 song for Donna, and then we'll come back.
Yeah, we just have a few more.
Yeah, we just have a few more questions, so it won't take maybe like 15 more minutes or something like that. But we will be back in 2 minutes and 35 seconds from now.
In the skeptical help bar, there's a guiding star, keeping chats in line. She's the queen of the bar, with a wink and a smile. She keeps things flowing. Divine Donna's on the scene to keep you from trolling. Divine Donna, watch her keep the show on track. Moderates with flair, she's got your back. With her love, Kenny Biddle, every Friday night. In the skeptical help bar, she's a delight. Start your questions with a capital Q, so Donna can pose them for you. Follow the Swayze rule and be nice, or she'll kick you out for life. Divine Donna, watch her keep the show on track. Moderates with flair, she's got your back. With her love, Kenny Biddle, every Friday night. In the skeptical unlike her hubby, doesn't let the show run into hour 3. She may be quiet, but she reads all the chats, so say hi or thanks, she deserves that. Divine Donna, watch her keep the show on track. Moderates with flair, she's got your back. With her love, Kenny Biddle every Friday night. In the Skeptical Health Bar, she's a delight. Rarely says a word unlike her hubby, doesn't let the show run into hour 3. She may be quiet, but she reads all the chats, so say hi or thanks, she deserves that. Divine Donna, watch her keep the show on track. Moderates with flair, she's got your back. With her love, Kenny Biddle every Friday night. In the Skeptical Health Bar, she's a delight. The Skeptical Health Bar, she's a delight.
Dun, 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 dun. And we're back. Oh, look, he's
Nice.
nice. I like that.
Grim Reaper. I think I'll say, like, Donna, you've done a really great job, like, you know, just listening to us talk crap the whole time and keep, like, on top of, like, the comments and all the rest of it. Like, thanks very much, Donna.
Oh, no problem.
It's like he's as bad. We're the same when it comes to comments. Like if I don't have her, forget it. I'm 10, 15, 20 minutes.
I need a Donna in my corner. That's why I'm always like light years behind the chat.
It's right tonight it's getting difficult. There's a lot going on, different
conversations and stuff like that. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot on my eyes tonight, but that's good.
Yeah.
We got it under control.
Yeah. All right. Michael Burkheim, do you think that your skepticism of ghosts affects your chances of seeing one? Or does it make you more acceptable to the understanding the claims of the location? Interesting. I mean,
do you think your skepticism of ghosts affects your chances of seeing one? No. Or does it make you more acceptable? Neither. To be honest with you, Michael, neither. My opinion is that if ghosts are real, ghosts are real. It shouldn't matter what your belief in ghosts are. Like, I don't have to believe in gravity for gravity to be real. And I don't agree that it should be any different for the supernatural. If the supernatural is real, I'll concede that it's very rare. I'll concede that, you know, it may be something that if it is there, it's a weird phenomenon that we don't understand a lot about. But it shouldn't matter what you think in here. I don't buy that. Like, if it's real, it's real. And if it is real, we should be able to see something, some kind of evidence for it, regardless of how you feel about it. Like, literally nothing else that we know about works that way.
Right. And I mean, so many experiences are retold or related with the beginning of, I wasn't paying attention, or I was doing something else and something just happened. And in that case, your beliefs aren't a factor because you're not paying attention to it. You're not actively believing ghosts don't exist. If something happens when you're just putting stuff together, just something happens and you have to investigate it. So yeah, I don't agree with that either. That skepticism will affect my chances of seeing one. I don't agree with that. And when people tell me that that's the case, my first response is, well, how do you know that? What evidence do you have to support that claim?
Like, why? Who made up that rule? Why?
Right.
And furthermore, the obvious elephant in the room with that is, like, it's very similar to why psychics say the same sort of thing. It's like, oh, your lack of belief in me and you are the reason why this isn't working. I'm like, that's bullshit. You're just putting the onus on me rather than the claim.
Right.
And that's just not fair. You're moving the goalposts.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a psychic medium, it shouldn't make a blind bit of difference what I believe. Be a psychic medium.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. There's no filtering
predict the
through.
future. Tell me what the dead said. It shouldn't matter what I say.
Right. You all right? You losing your cheekbone there? Oh my God! It does remind me of Jeff Dunham. Ahmed's jaw just starts falling.
I kill you.
He just looks down when his arm's gone.
All right. What else we got? Mark's random curiosities. Do you think a highly skeptical person can have negative hallucinations, not seeing something that is there, in the same way as a believer has positive hallucinations?
Is there any study? That's an interesting question. Has there ever been any studies about that? I've not heard. I've not even thought about that before.
I mean, I would say first that it's not positive and negative. Both are hallucinations. It's not.
Is that like a double negative?
Yeah, it's not whether it's good or bad or whether it's
like if you have a negative hallucination in not seeing something,
right?
That's a double negative, right? So that just cancels it out.
How would you determine that a person is hallucinating by not seeing it versus the person that is seeing something? Are they hallucinating?
Yeah.
Now we're getting back to the basics of you need to measure the environment, because that's the way to determine whether something was actually there or not how we perceive it. Because now we're perceiving through our senses, which can be fooled. And if we are under the influence of drugs, alcohol, or something else, or hallucinating for whatever reason, yeah. Oh, about time you fucking drinking.
I've been drinking the whole time. You just missed it.
Oh yeah, I did see it. I wasn't paying attention. I thought it was just a soda.
Mamma mia!
It's you weird people that drink from cans. Ugh. I can't drink.
Welcome to Australia.
Oh man.
I can't.
No.
No.
We won't be living there.
I can't. No. Well, we might. I don't know.
No, we might. What
no.
You might.
All right. Moving on.
What?
Moving on. No,
What
that's
are you
too
not
far.
telling
You
me?
people have like big fucking insects and animals and shit. Everything.
Oh, believe me, I know.
Question. Mike Jason. Question. How do you feel about the meet and greet with Seg when he comes to America? Supposedly it's going to be a bar party and talk about Seg's favorite vids he created. I mean, it's always about Seg. I mean, every conversation I've been in with Seg, it's always about Seg. So even when I did meet him at fucking the Monroe house, no, not Monroe, it's Bel Air house. It was immediately, as soon as he walked in the door, it was about Seg. Everything was about Seg. I'm so great. I make videos. Dawson would try to talk and say, "Oh, I made this video," and Seg would be like, "No. I made a better video than you, and it was so much better and 10 times better, and everybody loves it. Nobody likes you, Dawson." And
can I just say I approve of that rant because you kept talking about Seg.
I have had the fortunate experience of meeting him in person already, so it's yeah.
And also, I'm not doing a meet and greet. I don't. That's just Mike winding me up. That's not happening.
No. Okay. Yeah, it'll be incognito. All right. What else we got? We're down to two more. One. Oh, clown justice. The problem with proving ghosts exist is recreating the event. So a picture or video wouldn't be enough. What evidence would make you change your minds and make you believe?
For me personally, I need something. I need to be fucking chokeslammed by a poltergeist or something. I need to hear it. I need to feel it. I need to see it. I need all my senses involved
at the same time.
So we'll get you to come visit. You can stay in our guest room, and then at night when you get up to go to the bathroom, I'm going to be hiding under a sheet and just come up and bam, ghost bitch, and then walk away, and that's it. You're going to be like, what the hell was
And
that?
I'll just be like, this is how you treat your guests?
You shouldn't have told him.
Oh, he won't remember. I'm going to knock his ass out.
Yeah, that's what that's and I'll just be like, I'm leaving now. This is this house stays got. I've outstayed my welcome.
No, you're good. You're good. For me, with this, we've gone over this a couple times on this show where I would need a ghost to appear in front of me. First thing I would do would poke. I'd have to poke it. I want to see if it's squishy, if it's cold, if it's warm, whatever. If it goes through, yeah, fondle. How are you down under? But that would be the first. And then, like, does it recognize me? You know, like, is it looking at me, like, for me, or is it not real? You know, and am I hallucinating? What? And then I'd be like, all right, you know, can you sit down? Can we have a chat? You know, here, let me get you some rum. We'll sit down and have some special tea, and we'll talk about, you know, the afterlife and things like that. And then I would be like, honey, I need you to look at something real quick. That's it. I think that would be the start for me. And that might sound extreme, but I think it's got to be extreme. It's got to be extraordinary because it is an extraordinary claim. So, but yeah, cameras and video cameras wouldn't make a difference, I think, because, yeah, I mean, I make a habit of every day I'm recreating pictures and videos for other people.
So
Like,
if you saw something very compelling and you were shared the raw footage, would that not be interesting to you?
If I shared or they shared?
Well, no. So let someone you found to be credible, who you trusted, was to show you raw footage. What would you take? Fair enough.
I mean, I would look
Fair
at the
enough,
raw
Mulder.
footage and just look at it, but I mean, I never consider myself the last, the final conclusion. Like I'm just not that. I'm not qualified to be the final conclusion or something like that. So I'll take a look at it. I'll tell you what I think, and if I see any flaws, I'll study it. But from that, I don't know where I would go from there. I'd have to wait for that situation to come up. All right, we good?
Mm-hmm.
We're good. We did it. We did it, and we're within our 15-minute overtime window, which is good. All right. So, Seg, thank you so much. I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight, hanging out with us, and answering all the questions from both myself and everyone in the chat. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on.
And give your contact and stuff like that. What's your channel? All that stuff, if people don't already know.
The Side-Eye Guy. I'm a YouTuber, reaction, I suppose, debunker, comedy roast channel. Pretty much, I've already said it all already. If you got to this point and you don't know what the channel's about, why weren't you paying attention for the last 2 hours and 15 minutes? Yeah, the Side-Eye Guy. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. That's it. All right. Just quick announcements for everyone before we go. Tomorrow, if you guys are interested, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Don't ask me what other time zones that is, but 2 p.m. Eastern time, I'm doing a Zoom presentation for the Philadelphia Association for Critical Thinking. It's going to be a talk on TikTok videos and viral TikTok videos. I'll give examples, explain how they're done or how I think they're done, and then give you recreations of my own that mimic exactly what was done. It's open to anyone. I did share it, I think, on the socials. So if you want to sign up, it's free. You can you register, you can watch the lecture for free. And then that's that. Next week, I don't know. Next week I might have a show. I have something going on. I can't tell you what it is yet. But I'm also in talks with, if you've seen my last video on the Monroe House, I talked to Bob Perry, which is the ground penetrating radar guy, that looked through the yard and found an anomaly and this and that, and he gave his take on it. But he has also agreed to come on this show and talk about what he does. So I think that's going to be a very educational kind of show. He is full of stories because he does cemetery mapping, graveyard locations, and stuff like that. He's full of stories, and he loves to tell stories. So I think it's going to be a very educational thing. I'm going to try and get him on in the next couple of weeks. So, but other than that, there's lots of stuff going on, and I won't bore you. So, Seg, stick around for a little bit until after the break. There's not going to be an after party, so don't hang out. I'm being serious.
Yeah,
Donna's tired. She wants to go home. So, I'll see you next week. All right? Good?
Yep.
Never
Bye,
stop
guys.
learning. Bye.
Hey, diddle diddle, here's a little riddle. Who's the best debunker? Is it Kenny Biddle? Oh, he's good, not just a little. Not at the bottom or even the middle. Strike a chord like a fiddle. Tasting the rainbow like a skittle. That's fragile and brittle. You can watch him take a problem and start to riddle the problem away. He does not play. He takes his job so seriously. He loves a challenge and won't turn you away. It's such a skeptic, he keeps those believers exposing the fake. It wouldn't take him long to find a needle in hay. Use a magnet, damn it. Now take a drink of Kenny's specialty. Someone may say that's not for me. To each their own, well, really it will be. Man, Kenny's such a skeptic, drinking skeptical tea. Like and subscribe, everybody, turn notifications on. And go watch his show and forget about this song. Mr. Wizard or Bill Nye the Science Guy. Can you remember? You like Kenny better, so head to the Skeptical Help Bar and meet the bartender. Pick up a drink and relax, cause nobody does this better. Not even close, not even a little. He's the one and only Kenny Biddle.